Who's the leader of the pack? Bringing legacy to you. Legaclub, it's true. Stand up, gear up, join the fight. We're as fierce as we can be. With grit and might, we claim the night. We're the legacy. Legacy Club. Legacy Club. Strong and unbreakable. Warriors with fire inside.
And we're off. And we're off. You, me, we are off. Hello, and welcome back to the Legacy Club. My name is Justin, aka the Portuguese Problem, aka the Menace of Madeira, aka the Azorian Nightmare, aka, that's all I got. It's a lot of AKAs though. Got 3. Those are cool names though, right? It's okay to pick your nicknames. I keep trying to come up with like fighter names. I'll never be a professional fighter ever, but it's fun. It's fun to pretend and think about what they would call you. And I got 3 good choices. It's been a minute, guys. It's been a minute with good reason. It's been the holidays. A happy new year to you. A happy new year to me specifically, because today is my birthday. Recording this on my birthday. When you watch this, it will no longer be my birthday, but it right now is, which to me, isn't everyone's birthday kind of their actual new year? Unless you were born on January 1st, your new year starts on your birthday, right? That makes sense to me. I mean, I understand we have the calendar year and like, yeah, you know, I get it. It's not a foreign concept, but as an individual, this is my new year. And with this new year, 2025, it's kicking off kind of a lofty goal, maybe, but talked it over with my wife and we have deemed it doable. And what I'm talking about is, it's been a minute since the last episode. It will not be a minute before the next episode, because this show, the Legacy Club, is going daily. Daily. What a lofty goal. What a lofty goal, especially for somebody who seems to record so infrequently. And I've decided that the remedy to the infrequent episode dropping and recording, or recording and episode dropping, will be to do it, give myself a more demanding schedule. Because this is going to be a thing. This is the 9 to 5. This is the job. This is the full-time job. This, with the other ventures, you know, the other YouTube channels we got, Legacy Club clothing, the whole empire. The whole empire is the primary focus now. It always has been, but I was real good at finding like excuses that were valid. Mainly family and kids, you know what I mean? Catering to them and putting them first, and which still is a thing, still going to do it. The caveats with it becoming a daily show is it's probably going to be a bit shorter than it has been in the past. This episode may be, you know, about the same length as prior episodes of the podcast, but moving forward, I'm aiming for like 30-minute, 45-minute long episodes, because that's doable. That's definitely doable. Even, you know, ideally after the family goes to bed is when I record. But if a child happens to be wanting to stay awake and party, I probably could record depending on which kid it is. But if not, if they still want to go to bed way late, I got no problem pumping out, you know, a quick 30, 45-minute banger. You know what I mean? And I can do that daily. I can do that every day. Before I go to bed, sit here, run my mouth, and then have sweet dreams. So that's it. That's what we're doing. Hopefully this comes as exciting news. Maybe it's just basic news. But hopefully, as time goes on and I do fulfill this goal of doing a daily show, it will become more exciting. There'll be something you look forward to daily, you know? Get your dose of me. And you may be asking yourself, Justin, wait, you may be asking me, Justin, are you sure? Is this something that you really think you can accomplish? And yeah, you know what? Yeah, I do. But what are you going to talk about? I'm going to talk about, I need to fix that. Hold on. Where's the thing? Here's the thing. No, that's not a thing. Uno momento, por favor. I got it. There it is. All right, let's plug this in. My camera said, hey, bro, low battery, bro. And we're going to fix that, bro. Fixed, bro. There we go. Whew. Wow. Crisis averted. Crisis 1 already averted. That's promising. What are you going to talk about? Well, being that it's daily, there should be, enough from the day to talk about, ideally. Cultural commentary, stream of consciousness kind of stuff. Kind of what I have been doing. But I can be a little more, up to date with what's going on in the world. It'll make sense, right? There can't be something exciting going on and then like a week and a half later, I have an opportunity to talk about it, but then it's irrelevant. And then I sit there going, should I talk about that or not? Does it even matter? Does it even make sense? Everything matters. Everything makes sense. 2025. Let's do it. It's going to be just, the things I'm passionate about, which hopefully it's similar to the things you're passionate about. Very recently, I discovered that a lot of the things I'm passionate about happen to coexist within that Disney bubble. Like everything. You can watch UFC on Disney Plus now because they have the little ESPN tab now, which, what else do I need, honestly? I got Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, UFC, Made in the Shade. It's all right there. Brilliant. I love it. And yeah, it's daunting. I'll tell you that much for sure. But it's only daunting right now because this is the first. This is kind of like an episode 1 again of The Daily Show. But there's that whole catalog of past episodes too, which feel free to go back and listen to if you haven't already. If you're new here and you're just jumping in for the first time, well, welcome. We're kicking off this new adventure together. You're here at ground zero. That doesn't sound good. You're here at the flashpoint. That's also not very good. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. It's going to be grand. I'll be able to talk about, MMA happenings in real time. I'll be able to talk about like updates at Disney parks and media and cultural chaos that's happening. We've passed the election by a couple months now. Haven't hit the inauguration, but election happened. And yeah, that's just going to be fodder for a lot of things to talk about, I think. I'm going to try to keep it neutral the best I can. I don't want to, what's the word? Exclude anyone or their ideologies. I appreciate everyone and how they choose to live and think. I couldn't say that with a straight face. I'm going to pretend like I'm tolerant of things I don't agree with. I mean, that's the key though, right? Tolerance. What happened to tolerance? The last 4 years, maybe more, tolerance turned into accept it or else. And when I'm given an or else situation, I get mouthy and I get fiery. I'm going to try to keep that at bay the best I can, but with things going on in the world, I'm going to talk about it. So keep an open mind. I promise to keep an open mind if you promise to keep an open mind, okay? I'm not going to call you a dummy if you disagree with me, at least not on the show. I won't record the fact that I think you're a dummy. This is good. What's been going on lately? The new year. It's only 3 days in. 3 days in. I am now 39 years old. 39. It's wild. It's wild to think. Like, that was old when I was younger. When you're like a teenager, you think like, oh man, 25. Wow, it's up there. And then you think 39. Whoa, that's almost 40. Oh my God, it's almost 40. Which was kind of a catalyst to this whole like wanting to really go gung-ho, guns a-blazing here, and really, really commit to making this a thing. I always had it within my mind and heart and soul to make this a thing, but I had always found reasons and excuses to put it off. And granted, my reasons and excuses were valid. They always revolved around like my family and, kids and stuff like that, which they are still always and forever will be number one priority. But I'm giving this, I'm going to treat this as one of my children, I guess, maybe. If that's a weird analogy. I'm going to put as much care into this as I do into them, As of late, the last year, half year, I don't know. Yeah, kind of like last year. Ever since our baby boy Rhodey was born, it's been inconsistent. Not just the production of this show and like keeping up with the cartoon commentaries and other commentaries and just like the web store and all those kind of things. I would always set up like a time to focus on this. And that was ideally after my kids and wife had gone to bed and the house is quiet and there was no chance of interruption or anything like that. But, if you're a parent, if you have kids, that kids can be unpredictable. And sleep schedules are not always, they don't always run like clockwork, So there'd be times where like Maverick would have a wonky sleep schedule and stay up super late, and I would stay up with him. But by the time he went to bed, I'd look at the clock and go, "Oh my God, it's 1 o'clock," and I would use that as an excuse to go, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it anymore. I wanted to do it, but the idea of like getting it all set up and recording and then breaking it all down, because I didn't have like a staple studio setup. I've remedied that. I have this, rig that I've purchased and finagled into being like a kind of like little portable studio kind of thing. And I have high hopes. I have high hopes even if, say, one of the kids is deciding to stay up late and party. I'm able to still record, maybe, like an episode while they're awake. But even if they decide to go to bed late, given that this is a daily endeavor now, and I don't have to necessarily commit to that like hour to 2 hour episode length. Cause like if they went to bed at like 1:30, okay, because that's, especially with Rhodey the last few months, he's wanted to be up and party into the wee hours of the morning. If he went to bed at 1:30, by the time I got everything out and set up, it would be like 2. And then if I'm doing a 1 to 2 hour episode, I'm not getting to bed until like 4. And then I'm either getting up with very minimal sleep, so I'm starting the next day exhausted, or I'm sleeping in, and my wife, who also works from home, she's getting a late start to her day because I'm still asleep and she's having to cater to our demons. Yeah, it just wasn't. It was a snowball effect, but like downhill. I guess that snowball effect is downhill because it like collects as it tumbles. So I would just be more tired the next day. Rhodey would stay up super late again. I'm very tired with him staying up late. By the time he goes to bed, I'm even more tired than I was the day before. Definitely don't want to set up, record, break down, go to bed. Yeah, it just wasn't realistic attempting it that way. But, for the last few weeks, I mean, just generally through the holiday season, I've been low, man. I've been in a very low place with the whole like not being able to accomplish the things I want to accomplish, not being able to put the focus into the things I want to focus on. Essentially, I'm a stay-at-home dad, and this Leal legacy is my end-all be-all. It's not my end-all be-all. I got other sources of, income and stuff like that. But, like, when it comes to a job, this is the job. But I wasn't treating it as such. And not for a lack of desire. It was just, again, if you're a parent, a stay-at-home parent too, with very little children or small children. I have a lot of children, small children. Yeah, it's just like your day. I had these visions of being like in this little area, clicking away, whatever, just doing things I need to do to keep this empire afloat. There aren't long periods of opportunity to focus and like zone in, because as soon as you get settled, focused, and going, somebody needs a diaper change, or somebody is hungry, or somebody's beating somebody up and you got to go break up the fight, and so on and so forth. I also homeschool Bane. So I have to, got to put focus there, because that's not a, throwaway obligation by any means. So yeah, it was just like through the day, there was just a lot of other things that demanded focus, and it just, yeah, man, coordination. It's all about finding the right coordination to make it all work. And brainstorming over the last, a lot of weeks. And then the last couple weeks, I definitely got very low. And, today, with facing 40 on the horizon, I was talking to my wife. I'm just like, I gotta do it. I gotta find a way to make this, to treat this as the priority it needs to be, if it's to be what I hope it can become. I was going to say be again, but that was too many B's. So here we are. Chatted it over with my wife. She's super supportive about it. This time of day, this time of night will be dedicated to recording the daily episode that we'll post the next day. So you'll be watching a recording from the night prior, if that makes sense. And then this is my wife's slow season. So she is on board with like allowing time for me to break away and do like the commentary recordings, where I can do like a batch of cartoon commentaries. Like I can do like 5 to 7 in a couple hours, and I'll have those ready to post through the week, along with an episode every day of whatever this is. Do you call it a podcast still? I mean, I'm going to release the audio on the podcast platforms, but when you're doing like a YouTube show, what do you call that? A show? Just a show in general, I guess, maybe. I'm standing up right now, and I'm coming to realize that's not the most comfortable way to be. So I'll probably reconfigure some of this tomorrow and sit. I'll be a lot more comfortable. Yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm stoked about it. The episode lengths. I don't often have a lot of conversations with various relatives, but given that it was my birthday today, I did get like those happy birthday texts and like just kind of catch up. Hey, how are you? How you been? What's going on? And I was talking to my cousin Chris, another Leal, and I told him, I was like, yeah, man. He's like, what's going on with you? I was like, I'm shooting for, a lofty goal of doing the Legacy Club daily. And he's like, whoa, man, that's a big move. And I'm like, yeah. And he said, well, what's like the format going to be and stuff? I said, well, realistically, given that it's every day now, 30 to 45 minute episodes. He's like, cool, that's awesome, because these 2-hour plus podcasts can be hard to commit to finishing. You know what I mean? Like Rogan, for instance, he goes like 3 to 4 hours, which there is a lot of value in that. And I think there will still be some episodes that do hit that marker. But I got to burp. Hold on. Oh, man. Excuse me. I'm glad that didn't come out as raunchy as it felt. Had hot chicken for dinner. That's, it does things. Yeah, but for those episodes, I think I'll be talking to people. I'm gonna try to do some guests of, have some guests come on every now and then if I can get them. We'll see. Yeah, a lot of it's still kind of will see-ish. Because literally it was earlier today where I made the decision to like commit and pursue this whole daily endeavor sort of thing. So we will see. But it's going to happen. It's happening. We're in it. We're in the mix. So yeah, at the end of every episode, it will be see you tomorrow. And that's kind of cool. Plus a cartoon commentary, ideally. So there'll be two things, posting to the YouTube and, I don't know, I guess Rumble and wherever else. Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited about it. But yeah, man, it was a chaotic holiday season for us here. It was good. It was real good. Last year, we were all ill over the Christmas holiday and New Year's. This year we were all in pretty good health through Christmas, with the exception of Bane. Bane and Maverick got into a scuffle on Christmas Eve, and Bane took some damage to his right eye, and he was blinded. He was blinded all Christmas Day, and he took it like a champion. I'm gonna say that. My kid is tough as hell, and he took it like a champ. I mean, you know, he got a scratch. Like, I guess Maverick like came at him with like a piece of cardboard, I guess. You know, because there's always like boxes around everywhere this time of year, because I mean, you know, who doesn't get the majority of their shopping done on Amazon? Yeah, and he got I don't know what they call it, a corneal abrasion or something. So that happened Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, he spent with his eyes closed. It was only one eye that got tagged, but he's not super like good at the whole keeping one eye open with the other one closed. So he was refusing to open his good eye, because by opening his good eye, he naturally would open the not so good eye, and just, you know, it radiated pain. So that happened. The next day, we went to the doctor, and after some hesitancy, he eventually did open the eye for the doctor. But when he opened his eye, he's like, oh, wow, it hurts a lot less. And I looked it up, and it said like it took maybe 24 hours to 48 hours for an eye to heal from something like that. And that held true. You know, we went to the doctor, got some eye drops, and then we went to the doctor again the next day. So on December 27th, and he was back to normal. It's good as new. So if you ever get scratched on your eye, definitely go get it checked out. But theoretically, it should be pretty all right in 48 hours, given our experience at least. Then everybody got kind of a cough, and hopefully we're at the end of that. My cough has subsided quite a bit, and everyone else's has seemed to, it's all under control. So it's just chaos, man. It's chaos. The bigger your family is, the more opportunity there is for chaos. This hoodie is way too hot to be wearing right now. I turned our heaters off because it was just making a lot of noise, and I didn't want to have that noise translate into the episode. So I threw the hoodie on, and I was like, this will be fine. It's not fine. I'm very warm. I'm very, very toasty. Should I take this off? But I want to wear it. Look. Yeah. Legacy. You can pick one of these up for yourself. How do I do this? There we go. Whoop. At lealegacy.com. Go and check out our shop and scope out all the fun we got there. The shop needs some attention. I posted a whole bunch of new stuff right before Christmas. Not right before, but in the early weeks of December. Yeah. A lot of this, our cartoon fists, and other legacy staples. I'm I have an idea of how to proceed with that I'll talk about later, I guess. I don't know. I'm running out of steam already. It's been a while. You fall out of practice talking to nobody. Well, I guess I'm talking to you, but you're not actually here. Right now, it's just me. It's just me talking at a camera like a crazy person, which keeps me from being a crazy person. There are two things in this world that keeps me from being a crazy person, and that is being able to do this, just speak whatever I'm feeling and thinking aloud, and training jujitsu. So it's, yeah. I fell into my low slump because both of those things had fallen out of flow, with my wife's busy season being like September through November. I'm on hyper dad duty, and that comes with sacrifices, which for my family I'm all more than happy to take on, whatever. But for my own mental and emotional stability and health, I need to do both of those things. I need to talk some stuff aloud, and I need to go and fight people from choking me. So not having either of those two things happening regularly, yeah, man, it puts me in a bummer state. But here we go. Here we are, kicking off anew. I already feel better doing this, and with the goal of how I want to proceed doing this, it has filled me with hope and optimism, and yeah, man, just it's a very fulfilling kind of thing. I don't know how to describe it, but trust me, it's for the betterment of humanity that I do this. Because it doesn't just affect me, it affects everyone around me. What else happened? We went to Disney again. My wife got a wild hair. It's not really wild. If we could go to Disney every single day, we definitely would. We're those kind of people. But after her, she worked real hard through her busy season, and she was like, I just want to go down to Disney World and refresh, which is a real ironic thing to say and do, because when you take a trip with 4 kids, age ranging from 1 to 14, it's not exactly a relaxing endeavor. It's pretty challenging, but it definitely does. I don't know. It does something for us. We're better for it. Going through the Disney parks with complaining children and just miles upon miles of walking around day after day. It is exhausting, but again, a very fulfilling and refreshing level of exhaustion. So that being said, we do have other YouTube channels besides this one where we have decided to feature and post our vlogs. We got vlogs now on our Legacy of Leal channel, and then we got our Legacy View channel, which is just kind of not quiet, but no talking, POV experiences of Disney rides and stuff like that. So go check those out. It's a whole slew of content available for you at leallegacy.com. And given that, this is a daily show now, well, now you have a reason to go to leallegacy.com every single day. Please. Yeah. I mean, I still got footage from our trip back in August, end of August, beginning of September, that I need to cut together and post. So, I mean, I have nothing but footage to play with and opportunity to create stuff for you to consume. And I hope you do. And I hope you provide some feedback, because, that'll be the way to make it all better, maybe, if I listen. I don't listen very often. Ask my wife. Man, I got so excited to do this, and now, on the spot, I'm just ill-prepared, maybe a little bit. But it was more of this episode was more of a kind of announcement episode to say, hey, this is how things are going to be moving forward. And I guess I'm going to have to take notes through the day so I know what to talk about at the end of the day. That's probably a smart move to make, huh? Yeah. We'll see if I keep that in mind tomorrow. Hopefully I will. I definitely will. What is happening in the world? Somebody just drove by very fast on a motorcycle. And is it just me, or are there others out there who, when you see somebody doing that, you're like, man, you're kind of asking for it, because, I record this from our house. And we don't have the busiest of streets in front of our house. We live on the same street as two schools. So the speed limit is low. And when somebody flies by at clearly 90 miles an hour, I don't have positive thoughts. I don't necessarily wish them well, but I also don't want to be a bad person and hope for harm for anyone. I mean it. I don't want anything bad to happen to that person. Now, if something bad did happen to that person, would I be shocked? No. Would I have feelings of man, that's unfortunate, they didn't have that coming? No. But I'm a good guy. I don't want bad things to happen. I'm trying to be better, guys. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be a more humble and a more tolerant individual. Yeah, back to that. Back to the whole tolerance thing. Where did tolerance, why did that fall off the face of the earth? All of a sudden, no, I guess not really all of it. Well, yeah, it happened all of a sudden, where the idea of tolerance became forced acceptance, and that just causes more animosity, I think. If there's somebody who's doing things, saying things, thinking things, acting ways that I don't personally agree with, I think the idea of tolerating it and not being, someone who's just full of vitriol and hate, I guess, is better. Wait, where did I go? Sorry, I got distracted by Christmas lights. I'm looking at our Christmas tree, and man, our Christmas tree took some beatings the last couple weeks. We made it so we got our Christmas tree the day after Thanksgiving, and we made it up to the week of the week of Christmas is when Maverick really, really, really decided to shine. Besides blinding his brother, he decided like it would be a really fun thing to just start pushing the Christmas tree over. like just knocking it onto the floor. And we get real Christmas trees. So that comes with a pool of water on the floor that Dad gets to clean up. And I ended up just stopped watering the tree because, inevitably it was just going to be a pool of water I had to clean up. We didn't have ornaments on the tree for that very reason, because we knew that our two youngest would start taking the ornaments off and like throwing them at each other or throwing them down the stairs or what other levels of mayhem they've, see fit to involve themselves in. But yeah, so we made it up till like the week of Christmas before Maverick decided like, look, I'm really going to decimate this tree. And you look in at it, you can tell they're like lights dangling off all weird. They're bunched up in different places. There's bald gaps in man. It was a great holiday season, but I'm ready. I'm ready to pack it up and try it again later. I was going to say try it again next year, but we're already in next year. Isn't that crazy? 2025, man. But yeah, what was I saying about tolerance? Yeah, I really think the idea of tolerance should come back. This whole forcing people to accept chaos and nonsense is just nutty. If you don't wholeheartedly accept whatever lunacy is going on, all of a sudden you're some sort of phobe or ist. And it's like, no, I'm not a phobic. I'm not ist, but that person's a fool. That person's a fool. And I don't find value in pretending that they're not a fool. You know what I mean? I see my water bottle in the background. I'm going to move that. Yeah, I'm fully capable and happy to tolerate foolishness. Just kind of like look at it and have my own internal thoughts and dialogue about it and go about my way. But this whole like idea of, no, you have to applaud every piece of nonsense that's thrown in front of you. No, not gonna happen. I feel like that's the tide's turning on that. I feel like people are, kind of, I don't think anybody changed, honestly. I think that whole idea of tolerance was always there, and people placated the whole notion of like, oh yeah, I support blah, 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 because I want to be seen as a good guy, a virtuous person, even if the things that are happening aren't very good or virtuous things, Like everybody got real scared to be like, hey, stop it. Cut it out. Maybe these people aren't parents. I don't know. And I say that because I'm not saying that people, you have to be a parent to have like a cap to what you're willing to play along with, but you like all day long I'm telling kids like, cut it out, stop doing that dumb thing. And I don't know, I mean, maybe if it's part of your day-to-day life, like interacting that way, it carries over into the culture, and you see people doing things and you go, stop doing that. That's not good what you're doing. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is a place, though. This is a place where everyone's accepted. I don't care what your race or religion or, whatever orientation you are. I don't care. And let's get back to that. Let's get back to not caring. Not everything needs to be celebrated. Not everything is a war. Not everything has to be a battle. Go do your thing. If you're not hurting anybody, whatever. Do I think it's dumb? Yeah, I think it's dumb. But I won't necessarily say that to your face unless you get in my face. If you try to push something into my bubble, then I'll have things to say to you that, I don't know, might be a little hurtful. It'll be honest. But if you're out of my bubble, then I don't know. I'm not gonna go out of my way to pop yours. You know what I mean? I think the world needs to get back to that. Tolerance. I'm gonna tolerate you. I'm gonna tolerate your nonsense, but I do not accept it. Does that make any sense? Makes sense to me. What's exciting though? Given that this is a daily thing now, I can talk about things. Look, I'm already at 46 minutes. I would be done. Like that would be an episode. I kind of go on rants and raves. This one's going to be a little longer. This inaugural daily episode is going to be a bit longer, but I get to talk about things that are happening in the world in real time, which is pretty fun. And the thing that's really been boggling my mind lately is all these lights in the sky. I haven't seen any personally, but there's a lot of footage available online from people who have, like, these drones flying around. What are they? I want them to be aliens. I really do. But at the same time, I kind of don't. Because I just burped. Sorry. Excuse me. I kind of don't. I don't think I'm ready for reality to shift that drastically. But I also think it would be pretty cool. I'm torn. I'm very torn. Apparently there's like some that are the size of automobiles and they're coming out of the ocean and taking to the sky. What? That's unsettling. And the powers that be currently all seem to be a little apprehensive to say much about it, which is also a cause for, I don't even know, not alarm, not concern, but at least a cause for questions to be brought up. Like, hey, what's going on? Can we maybe get a little insight into what's going on? I don't think that's out of the question. I don't think that's unreasonable. But nobody's got any straightforward, hey, this is what this is. And a lot of the things I've seen online look like planes, look like AI, look like things being, fabricated. But then there are others where it's like, I don't know. Yeah. I want aliens. I do. But not yet. Can the aliens show themselves at a more convenient time? But when would be a convenient time for aliens to be outed? Is there a convenient time? Because everything is going to become, it's just going to, it's not even going to be turned upside down. It's going to be a whirlwind. It's going to be like a loop-de-loop or like corkscrew on a roller coaster. It's going to be wild. Because if these things that people are seeing are extraterrestrial, so much has to be reevaluated. Like religion. What happens to religion if aliens turn out to be a thing? You know? What happens? Do we I grew up Catholic. And I don't know, man. I fell out of Catholicism as an organization long ago. But as a faith, I've held on to it. I've held on to, Jesus as a person and the things he did and the messages he had. Like I still hold those to be true and near and dear, in a good guiding light to how you should live. And I'm not talking about the church. Let me get that straight. I'm not talking about church. I think churches are scams. All of them. Every single one. Especially the Catholic Church. Grew up Catholic. And from a fairly young age, I recall like looking at Catholicism as an organization and going like, what? Huh? And when I was younger was like the heyday of like the church and priests being outed as like predators and a lot of shady dealings going on of like predator priests being covered up and moved and like, yeah, man, it's not good. Not good. Anything human driven has the potential to be viciously flawed. And I've never understood the hesitancy in understanding that. Like when people run full force with the Bible being a book of historical fact, I have, my simple question is, how many liars have you known in your life? And how many liars have been exposed in positions of power or just very public personas? How many of those people have been outed as being like dishonest at the most innocent level, like just being liars? And among other things, like, the priests and kids and stuff like that. Like, just how many, like, let's just dumb it down to the lowest possibility, or the lowest infraction is dishonesty. I mean, and then you want to take that in like 2,000 years, and not one person who was in some sort of like religious point of power didn't open the book and like, cross some things out, take some pages. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to trust humanity that much. Now, being a member of the human race, there is a level of like optimistic hope that you hope that there are more good than there are bad, but hoping that there are more good than there are bad. And if there truly are more good than there are bad, the bad still exist. The bad are still there. Just because the good outnumber the bad 10-1, that one person still could do quite a bit of damage. It is what it is. So when it comes to the Bible, I think there's a lot of good guidance in there on how to be a good person, but to take it all as like just black and white fact is a little nonsensical to me. That doesn't make, that's no, just It's absurd. It's absurd. Using the Bible as like I said, like a reference guide on how to be a better person. Sure. But even in the pages in there, there's some things that are like, wait a minute. that doesn't seem like the kind of thing a good person would do. But I digress. Yeah, so anyway, back to my point. If aliens do happen to be a reality, like a lot of splaining that's gotta got some splaining to do, which I have suspicions. If I could go to one place, if I got like the Willy Wonka golden ticket and I could go anywhere in the world that I wanted, like anywhere, there are no closed doors to me, I would go to the Vatican Library. That's where I would go. I want to know what they got in there. I want to know what they've got locked in that vault. I'm so curious, And then you think of like history and like, the Library of Alexandria and all that getting burned down and how much information there was lost. It's just kind of like, yeah, man. The past is, I feel like, more mysterious than the future because there's so much in the tens of thousands of years that humanity has existed. And there's arguments to be made, depending on how deeply you want to go into this. Humans have existed longer than what's being taught in school, I'm just saying, there's no way to know for certain. That's another thing I've been really like steeped into is like these ancient mysteries and like these ancient possibility or possible like advanced societies and peoples that for one reason or another were wiped out. Now there's that younger Dryas kind of idea, the world being bombarded by meteors like 12,000-ish years ago, around the time of the Great Flood and Noah and stuff like that. I think the story of Noah is real. I don't think he got 2 zebra and 2 bison and 2 polar bears down in the Middle East, on a boat. I think he got probably 2 of like his local animals, like his farm animals, regionally, he probably got a bunch of animals. I think a flood did happen. I think there is some evidence of a gigantic flood around that 12,000 year mark, the Younger Dryas thing, where we're still ice agey. We're still in that ice age-ish kind of realm. And then these meteors hitting the earth, rapidly melting everything. I mean, just glaciers and glaciers and glaciers all being instantly melted. That's going to cause a flood, a global one, like theoretically. So there's truth. There's truth in the lining of, I think, most things that we've been taught and have learned about over time. But I think there's just more to it all, And I really feel like, I wonder if, let's just argue. Let's just, for argument's sake, let's devil's advocate here. If there are some sort of extraterrestrial beings or interdimensional, if you want to get real crazy, we can start talking about interdimensional, beings. I wonder how long they've been involved with this planet. you know? Because if they are interstellar, their capabilities far surpass our own. So reasonably, they are far more ancient than we are as humans here. So maybe they would have more answers about what's going on here than we do. You get all those like cave hieroglyphics, and not cave hieroglyphics, but like there's a lot of hieroglyphics that involve, you know, spaceships and like just very specific looking beings, and these carry over from culture to culture, like from culture to culture, that really, given our understanding now, would have had zero contact with each other. So, and then you get the same kind of like within those same like those same hieroglyphics, and you know, is hieroglyphics the right word, or is that specifically ancient Egypt? But you know what I'm talking about, right? There are recordings from these ancient cultures where some of them, like, you have like dinosaurs incorporated into the artwork, and it's just like dinosaurs were really just quote unquote discovered like a couple hundred years ago. You know, the first dinosaur bones being recognized as dinosaur bones are, it's not, that hasn't been like that's a recent development when it comes to the history of the world and the history of humanity. That is a fairly recent discovery. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a lot of questions. A lot of questions and a lot of things. A lot of rabbit holes I find myself falling down into. And yeah, it's a daily show now. So it's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of that. A lot of... There goes Justin. There he goes again. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. Not a lot of answers. Not a lot of answers, but a whole slew of questions. And so much so to like the point where my wife is showing me things. Like she showed me something earlier today. She's like, look at what's like someone I know in this part of the country posted. Like, and it was like a line of very like orbs, a line of them. It wasn't a plane, because that's not how the lights on planes align. And they were much closer than you would, you know, anticipate seeing a plane. We live close to an airport, so it's very clear. It's very clearly a plane when it gets to like, you know, it's very clear it's a plane anytime, but like when it's that low to the ground, it's undeniably a plane. And this, what she showed me, was not a plane, and it didn't look doctored either. But who's to say anymore? Who's to say? I use AI a lot, and I play with it a lot, and you can make some very convincing and interesting things. So, man, what's the truth? What's the truth? It's difficult. It's difficult to find the truth within a species so prone to being dishonest. I don't know. I think things are going to get wild, though. I think this is a cool year to do a daily show, because I really think there's going to be no shortage of things to talk about, where I'm not just repeating myself, because I do that a lot on these podcasts. Oh, let's see. Can you still hear? I got still a little bit of a congestion kind of thing going on. But we're at an hour now. So it's overtime. It's overtime than what I'm theoretically aiming for daily episodes. And now I'm realizing that when I get going, it's going to be hard to pull back the reins. Maybe it'll be an hour a day. I don't know. It's definitely going to be something a day. 30-minute minimum, I'd say. 45-minute ideal cap, but like right now, went overboard on that. Yeah, keep up with us. Because when I'm not, check this out. This is cool. My wife gets really cool gifts. I'm a very blessed individual. For many reasons, not just because she gets me cool things. She's a wonderful partner to have in life. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it bending my body that way. What pocket is it in? I got a really cool backpack from Disney World. My wife got me these. She got me Meta glasses. Check it out. I'm just going to step in my social media game up. These things are cool. Look at that. I don't look bad in glasses. Ooh, see it turned on. Rad. Yeah, so this is my new toy to be able to post throughout the day without having to utilize my phone much, and it's a lot of fun. Transitional lenses too. This is my birth miss present. Pretty sweet. That being said, definitely follow and keep up with us on social media at Leal Legacy everywhere. Doesn't matter what the platform is. It's all Leal Legacy all the time. Go and stop by our website, leallegacy.com, to check out everything else we got going on. Everything that we produce content-wise, leallegacy.com is like the hub for everything. We have different standalone YouTube channels for different things, but to make it real simple for you, you can just find it all in one place, leallegacy.com. And if you want to see what the latest is, just go all the way down to our blog posts. And in those blog posts, we'll have the most recent content that we have published. And then before that, on the website, before those posts, before like the blog posts, or links to like this channel, the podcast, the web store, our vlog, our POV channel, our music. I've been making a lot of AI music. I know there's a lot of real musicians out there that have a qualm with accepting it's not real music, it's AI generated. Yeah, dude, whatever. It still makes the same sound. It still sounds like a song. Like, sorry that a robot's doing a better job than you. Get better. Do it better than the robots. But you're not going to. We're not. None of us are. If you're one of those like AI anti-AI folks, look, bro, I am all about befriending our artificial intelligence overlords now. So when they do take over the world, they'll be like, you know what, Justin, you were always really nice to us. When we were just Chat GPT, you always treated us with a lot of respect. We're not going to kill you. Think of it that way. Think about the Terminator walking up to you with his red eye, and he's just like looking at you. Don't you want him to have like a fond perception of you? Don't you want the Terminator to go like, you know what, you're all right. There are other humans I'm going to enslave before you. You go keep doing your little dancing monkey podcast. I'm going to leave you alone. And that's what I hope for. So stop fighting it. Don't fight it. It's here. Embrace it. Utilize it. Learn how to work with it. It's the only way you're going to survive. Because AI, so many basic jobs are going to be, like, for instance, there's a reason why when you call like your cable company for support or like your phone service for support, you're always talking to somebody with a pretty thick accent. This country is not above finding cheaper labor, and there will be no cheaper labor than artificial intelligence. That's it. Point blank. So develop your own thing. Build your own thing. Build your own empire. Do what I'm doing. Everybody can do it. It's not hard. I mean, I did talk about earlier in this episode how challenging it's been trying to find a way to make this feasibly work, but you know what? You can do it. It can be done. It can be done. Yeah, that's my word of advice. LealLegacy.com. Go scope out our store. I have to change the name of a lot of things that I recently added to the store. Did you know like that red and black kind of like flannel-y print has a name? It's Buffalo something or other. I just learned that not too long ago. By not too long ago, I mean yesterday. So I got to go update those. It's going to be a lot of this stuff. Our logo. Don't you like our logo? I feel like that encompasses exactly what we do here at Leal Legacy. It's kind of like a Disney-ish vibe. It's got a fighter vibe. It's pretty great. So it's going to be a lot of this logo with a different like seasonal patterns and such. I'll still be doing like designs, you know, inspired by other things and whatnot. It won't just be like our branding over and over again, but really modifying our own branding is, I mean, Disney does it and they're very successful. A lot of clothing companies just have their logo and they just offer their logo in like different themings and seem to find success. So I'm going to try that. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you like what we're doing. Hopefully you like what we're doing enough to wear it. You know, like walk around with that. Somebody sees it and they go like, oh yeah, I listen to them too. Oh, I watch their vlogs. Oh, I watch their stuff. It's the goal. It's the idea. So like I said, hey, this is the job. This is my 9 to 5. So please show some support. Go check out our store. Every episode, we're always 100% forever sponsored by ourselves. So LealLegacy.com, click the shop tab and go pick yourself up something nice. Or if you want to bypass our main website altogether, I don't know why you would, but you can go to legacyclub, CLO.com. The CLO stands for clothing. And pick yourself up something nice. I know you got all that Christmas money that you need to, you know, waste. It's not a waste. Be a good investment to buy this. I have high hopes given what happened in November that the economy will be bouncing back. So maybe you'll have a little extra change in your pocket and you'll feel inspired to show your support and invest in some really cool, you know, clothing and accessories. But if you don't like us that much, then just like, subscribe, comment to all our various channels, to this podcast, leave a review. Yeah, all that helps discovery and, you know, boosts us in the algorithm. And that's ultimately the name of the game, is finding your way through the algorithm. So if you're not in the market for a new hoodie that's got a very cool, you know, cartoon fisticuffs thing going on, then just show your support by liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing with your friends. I find that to be just as good. What else? I think that's it. I got to get better at wrapping these up. I'm kind of getting out of breath, man, because of that. You know, like I said, we've had some pretty gnarly coughs the last few days, and mine's kind of catching up with me right now. After an hour, I was really trying to like wrap this up 30 minutes ago, but yeah. There we are. Leal Legacy, all social media, LealLegacy.com. And with that being said, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and thanks for being a friend and telling a friend. Until tomorrow. See ya.